Special point in electronic credit ledger. A refund from the electronic credit ledger is possible only in two cases: inverted tax structure, that is, a tax of output is less than the tax of input, zero rated supplies. A refund of the original source ledger. When the registered person has claimed a refund of the amount paid and tax wrongly paid, the tax is paid for which is debited has been made in the electronic credit ledger. Then such amount, if found admission proportionate amount debited in the electronic credit ledger, shall be recreated to the equity in order to make Form GST payment 3. A registered person claims erroneous refund and ITC upon payment of such a refund along with the interest and penalties. Proper official pass an order of Form GST PMT 03 and credit the electronic credit ledger. Balance of electronic credit ledger and only used for the payment of tax but cannot be used for payment of interest, penalties, other thing. Balance of electronic credit ledger can be used only for payment of GST and FCM, but also payment of GST and RCM. Balance of electronic ledger may be restricted for utilizing the proper official. A restriction of utilization of amount available in electronic credit ledger. GST officer has power to disallow the set of the provision of electronic ledger GST payable a maximum period of 1 year, and he is an option that the ITC available against the issue against the supplier who is not extensive, not doing business from the balance. The supplier has opted for registration. ITC available for the recipient who is not existent, not doing business from the place where the recipient has obtained registration. ITC available without the receipt of goods. ITC available against the invoice or which supplier has not paid tax to government. An invoice on the invoice on debit note against the ITC available for not taxes. Upon the expiry of 1 year from the date of restriction, the registered person shall able to debit input tax credit or disallow subject to any other action which may be taken against such person. Restriction of utilization amount of available in electronic credit ledger. Turnover of the month is greater than 50 lakhs. Pay 1% of the gross liability to electronic credit even if there is a balance in the electronic credit liability. Turnover is equal to total supplies minus exempted supplies minus supplier registered supplies. Turnover excluding tax. Exempted including non-taxable. Non-applicable of government department, PSU, local authorities, and statutory bodies. The above rule is not applicable in the following cases: some persons, proprietor, karta, MD, or two partners deposit amount income tax greater than 1 lakh in each of the last 2 years. Also applicable in the following cases: income tax of 1 lakh, the revised refund utilization of ITC 1 lakh greater than 1 lakh in the preceding years, paid 1% of the total output liability through the cash ledger calculating cumulative upon the month of the current financial year. Section 50, interest on the delay payment of payment of tax. Situation 1, situation 2. Interest on delay payment of tax. It is 1 to 3. Delay filing of GST 3B. Interest 18% from the date of from the first day after the table of the actual date of payment, computed on the amount paid through electronic cash ledger, the net liability. Invoice not reported in GST 13B a month but paid on other note. GST 18% from the date of the due date of till the actual date of payment, computed on the amount paid to electronic cash ledger, electronic credit ledger, money cost liability. ITC wrongly availed and wrongly utilized. Interest on 18% on the date of the utilization of ITC wrong applied till the date of reversal, computer ITC in the extent of the balance of ITC fell below the availing ITC. But date of payment is equal to actual date of payment of GS3B. Date of payment is actual date of filing of GS3B. If the payment through DRC, the date of filing system. The date of utilization is actual date of GS3B or due date of GS3B, whichever is earlier with respect to the month in its balance of ITC fall below the wrong available ITC. Date of reversal is equal to actual date of GS3B. Written under GST. QRMP report scheme. GST on a quarterly basis on 13th of every month following every quarters, and GST 3 is quarterly basis and quarterly basis of 22nd and 24th of every month of every quarter. Monthly payment of tax through PMT 06 using the fixed sum method or self-assessment method by 25th second month in the month. Annual turnover is less than 5 crores previous year. The B2B invoices may be furnished optional and the monthly basis through the invoices furnishing facility is reflected in the GSR 2A, 2B respectively. The QRMM scheme is a GST wise, a distinct wise person has option to avail scheme for one or more GST. Transfer time from opting A and B. And the first The first day of the second month, first day of the second month of preceding quarter of the last day of the first month of the quarter. It is a financial year April quarter Q1 1st February to 30th April and for July 1st May to July 31st July. You can have to for October 1st August 31st October. For January 1st November to 31st January you can opt. Condition for opt-out: last return must be furnished on the date of exercising the option. GSR 1 or availing IFF actually. The scheme provided the IFF facilities above past 2 months and furnishing the details of outward supply till the 13th of the succeeding month. This is the facilities option. The detail furnished under the IFF facility need to be required of refurnished GSR 1. Therefore, only invoice of last month of quarter is required to furnish GSR 1. Exemption: the terms details of outward supply shall not exceed value of 50 lakhs in each month. Non-opting facility details of outward supply to each GSR 1 quarterly. Payment method at the option of a taxpayer. Fixed sum method: the quarterly filed GSR 3B previously 35% of tax liability in the cash paid preceding quarter. Month filed GSR 3B previous quarterly and 100% of the tax liability in the cash paid in the last month of the previous quarter. Self-assessment mode: no payment of cash is made and the self-sufficient method available electronic cash and credit ledger for the first 2 months of the quarter ascertain all the taxes on the outward and inward supplies. Any change in the manner of filing a GSR 3B? No, the matter of declaring the tax declaring tax on the output and input supply is same, but the tax paid on the first and 2 months would be now offset along with the third month liability. Compulsory opt-out: when the aggregate turnover exceeds 5 crores in any of the quarterly of the current financial year shall be furnished a monthly return for the taxpayer. Levy of late fees: late fees would be applicable to delay of furnishing GSR 1 or GSR 3B. No late fees applicable to the delay of the payment of tax in the first 2 months of the quarter. Interest on accounts of short payment or non-payment under QRMC same. The tax with respect to the first month, second month, quarter not paid on 31st of next month. Interest of 18% on the 26th of the next month till the date of payment. And the interest on 18% from the 26th of the next month till the date of payment. Same. The difference of actual tax and tax paid on first month on second month on applicable interest of 18% on 26th of the next month till the date of payment. GSR 3B from the quarter first month, 18% of GSM from 23-24 month following the quarter till the filing of GSR 3B on the next liability mentioned. Interest of 18% per month 23-25 the month following the quarterly till the date of filing of GSR 3B on the net liability mentioned 3B. Limit for various returns and the form description sequence in GSTR 1. Detail of outward supplies other than QR schemes or 11 of every month. Details of outward QR schemes 13th of every month. IFF in the case of quarterly RVMS scheme the first 2 months in the quarter and 13th of month in every month. GSR 3B summary of outward supplies along with the input tax credit if QRMS is not after 20th of every month. The notified Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Pondicherry due and QRMS opted 22nd of every month, notified in the month of following every month. CMB 08 state Challan make tax payment composition of tax scheme to taxpayer 18th of every month. GSTR 4 annual return of taxpayer register under the composition scheme 30th of every month. GSB return of a NRTP 13th of month following every month a 7 days expiry of registration whichever is earlier. GSTR 5 return of filed by the OID supplier located outside India 20th of the month following every month. GSTR 6 return of the input service distributed 13th of every month following every month. GSTR 7 TTS details 10th of every month. GSTR 8 TCS detail 10th of every month. GSR 9 and 9B annual return normal e-commerce operated 30th December of every financial year. GSR 9G reconciliation statement self certificate 31st of December of every financial year. ATO previous year greater than 5 years. GSR 10 final return to be filed by the taxpayer whose GST return is cancelled with the 3 months of the date of cancellation and date of cancellation order whichever is it. GSR 11 detail of outward inward supplies to be furnished by the person having you in at the time of filing and refund claim. Special point of return sequential filing within month. GSTR 1, GSR 3B and GSTR 1, GSR 3B, GSTR 1, GSR 3B. Government recommended the GST Council may allow a person to file GSTR 1 even if GSTR not filed in the prior period. In the following cases, even though supplier declared the details of outward supply GSTR 1, ITC can be restricted to GSTR 2A, 2B, and 16 to D. The supplier is a newly registered person. Supplier is filed GSTR 1 but not GSTR 3B. Supplier liable to GSTR 1 is greater than the GSTR 3B. Then the supplier ITC of GSTR 3B is greater than the GSTR 2B. The supplier may receive demand notice and default in payment of taxes and supplier default continues. The supplier's default payment 1% of gross liability and through electronic cancellation terms of Rule 86. Rule 88C, liability of GSTR 1, liability of GSTR 3B represent the amount of percentage. The intimation of common portal and copy sent to email registered person in 7 days. Registered person may agree to pay the differential amount along with the interest of 18% with section 50. Registered person may explain the difference through the common portal. The explanation of registered person found acceptable, proceedings are concluded. Registered person neither paid difference nor submitted explanation for the explanation submitted is not found acceptable by the department. Recovery of difference under section 79 and GSTR 1 IAFF blocked for the specified subsequent tax period until such difference taxes deposit along with the interest and proper explanation has been offered. Person not required to file GSTR 1 and 3B and TDOR 2. Tax director, TCS director, OIDR supply located outside India and making supply non-taxable in India, non-resident taxable person, input tax or distributor, composition tax supply, annual returns not required to be filed by the CAG doctrine. The CAG RP sub looks for subject of audit of CAG, TTDS director, OIDA supply located outside India and make supplies for non-taxable resident India, a non-resident taxable person, input supply, the input service distributor, C casual taxable person, late fee for the delay of filing of return section 47, types of return situation, late filing fee subject to maximum GSTR 1, GSTR 3B with respect of month of every counting 31st. Situation level 10 for every day 2050. Annual turnover is less than 1.5 crores 25 every day up to 1000 maximum, and more than 1.5 crores to 5 crores 25 every day up to 2000 meter. The annual turnover is more than 5 crores 25 every day, not up maximum 5000. GSTR 5, GSTR 5, GSTR 6 will return 10 for every day, other than return 25 every day 5000. 7 25 every day late fees and 1000 maximum. GSTR 8 100 every month 5000. GSTR 4 respect to 2021 will return 10 every day to 50, other than return 25 every month 1000. GSTR 9, GSTR 990. ATO less than 35 crores 25 every day 0.02% of turnover. ATO was less than 5 crores 150 every day 0.2% of turnover. ATO more than 40 crores 100 every day 0.25% of the turnover. State and UT. The equal amount of late fees payable under the CGST SCRR and late filing also IGST not applicable. The late fees under CGST is paid. Filing of return to SMS. The following returns can be filed to SMS and in all the entries of our returns are held. GSTR 1, GSTR 3B and GST CMP 08. First return section 40. Every registered person who has made outward supply in the period between the date of which became liable to register till the date of which registration has become granted shall declare the same first return furnished by the him in the grant of registration. Notice of return of defaulter. Notice of GSTR 3B shall be issued if the returns are not filed after issuance of notice. Return should be filed 15 days from the notice. Rectification of return. Revise the return or rectification on the account of security audit inspection and enforcement activities. Rectification subsequent return GSTR 1, GSTR 3B and GSTR 8. Maximum time limit for rectification 30th November and next financial year. Actual date of filing the return whichever is earlier. Outward taxable supplies. B2B supplies, B2C supplies, interstate supplies, invoice come details of all supplies to be uploaded. Intrastate supply also same thing. Interstate supply invoice greater than 2,50,000 per invoice with details to be uploaded. Less than 2,50,000 state-wise consolidation details supplied, and consolidated details of all the supplies to be uploaded. Accounts and records. Inward supplies, foreign trade, import and export. Outward supplies, RCM, such as manufacture related, advance, received, paid, and adjusted tax details, input tax, output tax, stock of goods not required for the person opting for composition scheme. Section 35. The above records maintained by every registered person in the principal place of business. A record pertaining to the additional place of business in the each additional place of business. Pertaining to retention of account. Section 36. Normal cases, applications. 72 months of 6 years from the date of filing of return. Later 72 months of 6 years from the date of filing of returns and 1 year from the disposal of appeal proceeding. Every transporter, warehouse, even though not satisfied, should opt to unique or enrollment number and maintain the necessary records. Adjustment and audit. Various interest provision under GST. Section 50. Purpose of for delay of payment of self-assessment tax. Interest provision 18% from the day till the date of payment per annum. 53. Wrong availment of utilized ITC 18% per annum first day of utilization to date of payment. Section 60. For the payment differential amount arising from the account of finalized provision assessment 18% around first day of the day was day from the day of date of the month of which tax provision assessed date of payment. Section 16. For non-payment of consideration divided by total tax of the supplier by recipient within 80 days of the date of invoice. 18% of the day of utilization of ITC till the date of such ITC liability abated. 17. Read section 42. ITC to be revised with respect to input and input service greater than ITC reverse and proportional basis. 18% was the April of succeeding financial year to date of payment of reverse with respect to input services. It's greater than the equity imposed. Okay. 7. Rate section 43. Reversal of ITC pertaining to capital goods. 18% of the date of utilization ITC date of proportionate to ITC output tax liability. Section 43. Impose of interest on delay of refund sanction of 86%. 61 days from the date of receipt publication date of refund. 56. Interest on delay of refund arising from the account of order of adjustment authority of 39% first day of recipient supply date of refund. Due date of section 3B usually 20 days a month of from the daily of section 3B. Interest payable in net liability provided that the liability is proposed to section 3B, otherwise interest is in gross liability. Assessment under GST. Basic self-assessment, provision assessment, scrutiny. Section 59, 60, 61. Then section 62, 63, 64. Status of the person, registered person, taxable person, registered person. By registered person, proper officer or provision. Self-assessment notice may not applicable situation. Every registered person has to access the tax payable for his return and due date of return. Officer to be take permission not available. Travel order no applicable. Consequence no. So taxable person, proper officer. Why proper officer notice no question of this situation. When the taxable person is unable to determine the value goods of service or both determine the rate of tax. Time limit. Proportional assessment order PA within the period of 90 days on the date of receipt of such request. The PO is a final assessment order 6 months on the date of plus 6 months are divided 4 years on the day of PO. Officer take permission no. Withdraw order no. Consequence calculate the difference of liability under the final assessment, liability under the provisional assessment. If they positive, then they pay the difference of GST from the first day of the due from the till the day of payment. If negative, then go for refund and interest 6% per annum till 60 on the date till the date of refund. From 60 on the date of refund. Scrutiny assessment. Section 61 is registered person by proper officer notice EBS certification in order to verify the correctness of return and PO makes a excise a due to return of seek explanation time limit not given logically given the order on 73-74 officer to take permission no. Withdrawal of order no. Consequence explanation is not obtained in 30 days on the extension of order and the RP fails to take corrective measure then by proper officer may conduct audit and initiate the recovery. Basis best judgment and summary. Section 62-63 best judgment. Status of person registered person who will proper officer opportunity be here yes GST 3B situation the registration person failed to furnish a return within 50 days of the GST 3B notice. Time limit for with such notice within the period of 5 years from the date of 31st March of the final year furnish the annual returns in which tax is not paid. Officer to take permission no. Withdrawal of order yes. Consequent order withdraw and valid return 5 within 30 days of order. Status of registration, unregistered person who will access proper officer. Option to be heard, yes. Situation where a taxable person failed to obtain registration even though liable to do so. The registration has been cancelled under section 29, but who was liable to pay tax? Period of 5 years in the date of 31st March of the financial year for furnish a return. Furnish a return. Furnish this return. An officer not take permission, no. Withdraw for order, no. Consequences pay as per the assessment order and or prefer appeal if not as with respect to assessment order. Taxable person proper office who will assess proper officer after opportunity be heard, no. Situation the proper officer may have evidence that taxable person incurring liability and P officer has sufficient ground to believe that delay in the passing assessment order may adversely affect the interest of the revenue. Time limit not given. Officer would take permission, yes. Previously, permission to the additional joint commission. Withdrawal order, yes. Consequently, pay as per the assessment order. In the order as error, yes. Proper officer may withdraw such order and follow proceeding section 71. Auditor section 14 GST. Note as statutory auditor section 35. The GST stand omitted and now GST 9 GST 9C is self-certificate documents. Particular department audit, special audit section 6 and 65, section 66 conducted by a commissioner of any officer authorized by the conduct audit. And the audit is conducted at any such frequency based on the turnover yet to be audited. Time period for audit shall be completed with 3 months or past 6 months for commissioner. 6 audit period should be submitted to the registered person commissioner with the date of conclusion order expressing audit upon by a department. Scores of audit of all the books of account and returns are maintained as per the maintained due to the audit maintained. Notice of 15 working days prior to commencement audit. What if the audit is already completed under any other law? Audit under the section of mandatory. Special audit section 66 conducted by practicing CACMA nominated by the agency. When the audit is conducted by such a security inquiry investigation found that the value is not correctly valued, it is ITC is irregular amount. Time period of audit 90 days and not 60 days of AC and DC. Audit report shall be submitted. Audit to be a report of institutional AC and DC. Expense of audit borne by the department. Scope of audit. The audit of value acceptable person made ITC available for utilization during the audit report. Notice of audit. No notice for direction of auditor section. When the audit is already completed under the other law, auditor under the section is mandatory. The audit of tax authority should be conducted in the part of year. The period of a year should be audited conducted of the tax authority in the financial year or the multiple therefore tax and the commissioner or any officer authorized by him by a general or specific order may now undertake the audit by a registered person for the part of the financial year also. Appeal. Adjudication authority and GST. It is a process of commencing after the issuance of show cause notice and processing a demand order, adjudication order, usually terms order of original. It is a process explanation offering by the notice either to return or the process requiring to personal hearing. It is a notice admits to amount and it is can be paid so that proceeding shall be appealed. Additional joint commissioner, assistant department commissioner, superintendent, anti-profiting authorities, adjusting authority appeal after passing adjudicating order. The person to whom order is served, if not satisfied with the order and has to right to go to the appeal at the higher authority, go to authority and explain as to why he is not satisfied with the order. Every department can prefer the appeal. The outcome of the appeal is referred to the appeal authority or order of appeals. Where appeal of an high court and supreme court is governed under the provision of civil procedure code. For the matter relating to the public supplies after CGST, further appeal lies within the Supreme Court. CGST is divided into two benches: national regional bench to the higher places apply issues and state area bench to hear the issues. Commissioner appeal, additional appeal. So CGST, GST appeal tribunal, High Court and Supreme Court. GST appeal, so CGST appeal tribunal, High Court and Supreme Court. Okay. Particulars appeal under GST. First appeal to commissioner appeal against the order of additional joint commissioner. Additional appeal against the order of officer below the rank of additional joint commissioner. Time limit assessees include within 3 months or 1 year. 3 months or 1 month and department 6 months or 1 month review. Pre-deposit not applicable in the case of deposit appeal 100% admitted due 10% of a dispute tax and subject to the max of 25 crores. Pre-deposit shall be 25% penalty section 139. Fees not applicable. Time limit of disposal appeals 1 year not valid. 20% deposit fees not applicable. Against order and additional commission against order of officer below the record time limit of commissioner against order of officer commissioner. 3 months. Second double to GST tribunal and the additional order of a commissioner appeal additional commissioner revision authority time 3 months from the order department within 6 months. Pre-deposit not applicable in the case of 100% admitted due 20% of dispute due subject to maximum 50 crores. Fees not applicable in the case of deposit 1000 per year every 1 lakh subject to maximum 25 lakh. Time limit for disposing of this 1 year. Third, to whom High Court against the order CGST state bench. Time limit appeal and distribution within 180 days. Ultimately, court out delay. Pre-deposit as per the CAC. Fee as per the CAC. Fourth appeal. Whom Supreme Court is against order of CGST National Regional Council against order of High Court. Time limit as per the CPC. Pre-deposit fees as may CPC. Third of High Court, Supreme Court has been matter relating to question of law up to Supreme Court, question of fact up to CGST. Monetary limit for assessing of the CGST is 50,000. For department not at 25. The interest on refund is 6% per annum from the date of deposit till the date of refund. No time prescribed for the returning of 3,000. For appealing order to any of the authority transfer the proceeding from one officer to another, seizure of detention documents, account register documents, order sanctioning procedure and imprisonment order sanctioning payments and due installment. Revision authority under section 65. A revisional authority appointed for revision of authentication orders. Revision authority is one motion upon information received by it or on request of commissioner call from the examination the record of such proceeding, and if it considers that any decisions or any other order is erroneous, it may be far as prejudicial to the interest or illegal or improve or has taken into account certain material fact. He may suggest stay under the order discussion about the matter such as further inquiry, pass, order, enhance, modify, and investigation. No revision setting is the order has been subject to appeal above the RA may pass an order may point in which may be rise and decision appeal. Order already been by information the order sought to be revised in the revision order. Time limit of taking into revision first appeal. First year from the date of order and appeal, 3 years from the date of appeal and order. Observation appeal not filed 6 months from the date of appeal and authority, 3 months from the order. Period to be excluded from computing the limitation of the period of 3 years. When the issuance of revision order stayed after the court order court, a tribunal period of such a stage shall be excluded and computing a period of tribunal maximum 3 years. Time spent for appeal in the similar issue of tribunal High Court and Supreme Court.